Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We are in the Tower of Estrod, in the basement area, I suppose. So let's head on in and see what this episode, or this place, or both, will bring to us. A pale and frightened half-elf looks at you warily. His face is twisted into a grimace like he just ate something slimy. Hey, who are you? Praise Baphomet. What are you doing here? Did Faxon send you? I heard a noise outside, but I was busy making a list of the relics. Did something happen? Who are you? I am Telmer, the scribe and senior aide to Lord Xanthier, the Plagued One. And, do forgive me, but Faxon has been assigned to this command, has he not? Where is he? What are you doing here? I am compiling a list of the valuable Crusader artifacts. Lord Xanthier has ordered that everything of use should be transported from Kinarbris and saved from the looting and destruction. We chose the museum as the place to collect and sort through the trophies. Unfortunately, the local thieves have proved even quicker off the mark than the demons. They ransacked the museum in the first few hours of the assault, but there are some objects of interest among the exhibits they left behind. The museum custodian has been kind enough to advise me on those. But where is Faxon? Finest thieves in Mendev. Turn your back and everything that isn't nailed to the floor will be gone when you turn around again. The demons have no chance against them. Masters of our trade we are. There you go bragging again, dummy. Thieving has never led to anything but harm, trust me. If you fought the way you thieve, now that might be useful. He kind of does a bad ton more damage than you, Sela? No thanks. Every person has their calling, and this is mine. But imagine if you fought as well as we thieve. Yeah, I'm with Woljif on this one. Where is the museum custodian? Over in the gallery. I deceived him. I told him I was a crusader. It wasn't difficult. The old geezer is out of his mind, so tell me, where is Faxon? Clear off before I kill you. The half-elf pitches forward, but then grabs his bag and leaps away from you. You're lying. You want me to turn away so you can strike me in the back and take the papers that have been entrusted to me. The half-elf leaps back nimbly, pulling a sheaf of papers from his bag as he goes. No, I have valuable letters from Lord Xanthier here. I must destroy them. The cultist balls the pages up in his fist and shoves them into his mouth, then begins furiously chewing, like a hamster. A moment later, the half-elf's eyes bulge and he opens his mouth, which is stuffed with masticated paper. He tries to cough, but nothing comes out. The failed saboteur looks at you in desperation. His eyes are streaming, his face is growing paler by the second, and he falls to his knees. A strangled wheeze emerges from behind the wad of wet paper. His expressions veer from the hilarious to the grotesque as he signals to you for help. No, I want to read what it says. Spit that out. Want some salt or pepper with that? Now, I've never tried eating paper myself, but a little seasoning goes a long way, whatever the deal. Let's help the poor wretch. I don't care if those pages contain the innermost secrets of Baphomet himself. I am not touching that. The cultist coughs violently and then, after taking a trembling breath, leaps up and takes off running. He disappears, leaving you with a wad of correspondence that is much the worse for wear. Well, that'll teach him not to eat paper in the future. Let me just quickly make sure that none of these... because I'm not sure if you get the bonuses if you read them from a loot standpoint. Masticated letter. A wad of crumpled pieces of paper with visible bite marks and traces of saliva. The writing is blurred and indistinct. Most of the words are completely illegible, but some fragments are still intact. Carefully pack up all the relics and valuable magical items and hand them over to the same courier that brought you my potions. Later, I may carve out some time away from my scientific research to sift through the detritus you managed to steal from the Crusaders. I might as well not bother, since your finds will almost certainly be of no use to me, unless I find myself in dire need of a paperweight. Still, this mission keeps you occupied and gives me an invaluable opportunity to work without you sticking your nose into my experiments. I once again remind you that it is absolutely essential to store the potions in a safe place sealed with a corresponding protective rune. Should these safety measures not be taken, the demons will drink all your stash dry in no time at all, and your master will order me to spend 3 more days at the cauldron making a new batch. Believe it or not, I have many more other important matters to attend to. Should I discover that the potions have mysteriously disappeared, I will not try to look for the culprit. I will punish the person who let it happen, the person who failed to secure them properly. The punishment will be painful, brutal, and utterly inhumane. Remember this. Good luck with conquering whatever you are conquering out there. Xanthir Vang. So yeah, there we go. Protective rune. And would you look at that? The potions. I guess he's in for a rather bad time when he comes back to Xanthir. This copper vessel and the oil inside it were sanctified by Rhaelus, priest of Iomedae and faithful crusader. This item was donated to the museum by Rhaelus Fellows in Arms. More details in the museum almanac. This is a claw taken from Terendelev, the silver dragon and protector of Kenabres. It was cut off by demons when Terendelev heroically saved a group of ambushed crusaders from certain death. This item was donated to the museum by the town hall of Kenabres. The wand of the famous mage Zacharias, who made his name during the heroic and tragic siege of the Lost Chapel. This item was donated to the museum by Zacharias' apprentice, Mage Teldon. More details in the museum almanac. Wait, Teldon? Wasn't that the name? No, that was Telmer. This helmet belonged to Bathistas Scroccia, paralictor of the Order of the Gate, and one of the first Hell Knights to serve his duty as a crusader. This item was donated to the museum by Queen Galfrey. More details in the museum almanac. Yeah, I kinda get it. There's Teldon. So he was the apprentice of Zacharias. Interesting. There's the almanac. The old man, looking around absent-mindedly, shrinks away as you get closer. His head seems to shake uncontrollably, but his hands are surprisingly deft and assured as they level a magic wand at you. Stay back! Which are you, robber or demon? Well, I'd say it's pretty obvious that I'm not a demon. Hey, take it easy, Gramps. So that's the way it is, eh? You see horns and you think thief or demon? You know, Woljif, he's not exactly wrong. Quit scaring the old man, dummy. Have you seen your horns? They... how should I put this? Don't exactly inspire trust in a city that's currently overrun with demons. Hey, there are horns and then there are horns. I'm not going to hurt you, Teldon. The old man goggles at you in terror, but he doesn't lower his wand. A rustling comes from somewhere behind him. Rats. The old man wheels around fearfully and peers in the direction the sound came from. The hand holding the wand gradually falls to his side. When he turns back to you, there is no fear in his expression, only vague confusion. I'm sorry, I was distracted. What were we talking about? Who are you? The old man lowers his wand in confusion. I think his expression grows distraught and mournful, as though he is on the verge of crying. I forget. His gaze falls on a piece of cloth carefully stitched to his cloak, which reads, Teldon, Tower of Estrod, Museum Custodian. Aha! I am Teldon, the custodian here. My memory isn't what it once was. My faculties are failing me. But at one time, my mind could cut like a diamond. I was a battle mage, one of the few who survived the Battle of the Lost Chapel. But I'm an old man now. Sometimes I set down my keys one moment, and the next I can't remember where I've put them. Controlled amnesia, the ability of the mind to eliminate non-essential information. Nenio peers at the old man with suspicion. But what we have here is a case of plain old senility. With a pleased smile, the old man pulls a hefty set of keys from his pocket and proudly shows them to you. Here they are, my keys, my little lovelies. I would never give you away to anyone. Remembering himself, the old man hastily stows the keys. Stows the keys back in his pocket. What are the keys for? Oh, these keys are for everything. I can open every door in the Tower of Estrod with these. The museum custodian on duty must carry these keys at all times and never be parted from them, not even for a second. And why is that? Because if the keys were left unattended, they would be pinched by thieves, wouldn't they? Thieves who would strip the museum of all its treasures. What are you all looking at me for? Woolgif exclaims indignantly, even though no one is looking at him. Give me the keys? Out of the question. According to museum protocol, the custodian does not have the right to hand over the keys to another. I am personally responsible for the safety of the exhibit and the storeroom. Don't you understand? This museum holds things that could help in the fight against the demons. Biting his lip, the old man holds out the keys to you. You're right, I'm just an old duffer. Take whatever will help you and go defend our city. Why did the demons spare you? The museum custodian looks at you in stark surprise. Demons? There have been no demons in this museum. I heard them breaking into the tower, but then everything went quiet. Then a very polite young fellow came along, a half-elf. He said Kenarbris was under attack, but that the Crusaders had already recaptured the tower. He said he'd been sent to oversee the evacuation of the museum. He was very pleased to find me here. I've proved a very useful resource. I showed him all the most valuable relics, explained what they were, and he wrapped them up, labeled them, and carried them off somewhere. And I've been here all this time. I've locked the doors and stood guard to make sure that no demon got in. But I've not seen a one of them. Haven't heard any either. I've grown hard of hearing over the years. That half-elf was a demon worshipper. The old man frowns in confusion. What do you mean, demon worshipper? That fine young lad, so well-dressed, so polite. But he said the Crusaders... Oh my word, the relics! We must go after them. The old man works himself into a state, bitterly lamenting as he roots through his many pockets. But the outburst doesn't last long. The motion of his hands slows and the awareness fades from his eyes. He stares off into the distance and then looks at you, wets his lips and sheepishly inquires, Sorry, did you say something? What happened here? The old man bursts into agitated muttering, gesticulating furiously with shaking hands. First, the bell started ringing and then there were noises in the street. Then the dragon, Lady Tyrendula, began to roar. I went to lock the door, but they were already inside, thieves. There were 7 of them, or perhaps 10, I don't remember. They were talking some rubbish about how they were orphans, supposedly, and that they were dangerous. They grabbed me and wouldn't let me go, and then they looted the place. They took anything with even a lick of gold on it. Relics, too. The museum boasts a very extensive collection, you know. And worst of all, they took the wand. And when they were done, they tossed me aside like a piece of old junk. They didn't even bother to kill me. The The museum custodian looks at you with affront and anguish in his eyes. What wand did thieves steal? The wand of Zacharias, my master. He was a great man, the hero of the defense of the Lost Chapel. And those scoundrels took his wand. A relic. Ballads are sung about Zacharias, and they're just damned thieves. Master Zacharias will return, and he will assemble all of us, his students, and we'll show them. I'll show them what battle mage Teldon is made of. Fury sparks in the old man's eyes, his spine straightens, and in a fluid motion his hands raise his wand at the ready. But a howl of rage from outside frightens off the ghosts of the past. The old man turns around and looks at you in befuddlement. You were just asking me about something. I forget what it was. Where can I find these robbers? The old man throws up his hands. I haven't the foggiest. They're thieves. They know out-of-the-way places where they won't be found. That's where they are, if they're still alive. But they won't be in the city. I heard them talking amongst themselves about how they needed to get out of Kenarbus before the demons wiped them out. Are you all right? The poor man smiles piteously and makes a helpless gesture. Old age, my young friend. Old age and the poison of fear seeping into my mind. Both have turned me from a crusader and a battle mage into the sorry specimen you see before you. This museum is all I have. Whenever I forget who and where I am, I just read the exhibit labels. They are of the past, just like me. And now some ruffians have ransacked this place. I'm frightened, my young friend. I'm very frightened. Tell me about the museum exhibits. The old man seems to come to life. It would take a lifetime to tell you all there is to know, but I'll take you on a tour of the highlights. Some of my personal favorites. You should have a look yourself. You won't regret it. For instance, we have a painting here depicting angels fighting demons. Now, you may find it hard to believe, but in the First Crusades, many heavenly beings fought shoulder to shoulder with the Crusaders. And these two in the painting are Targona and Lariel, the Silver Twins as they were called. I actually met them, you know. When I was a young man studying under Master Zacharias, they had no airs or graces about them. They walked among the mortals, they spoke to us, they even healed our wounds. Lady Targona I remember especially well. She had a special unearthly wisdom within her. The angel Lariel, on the other hand, was known for his daring, and the youngest crusaders idolized him. I wonder where they are now, the twins. We don't have any celestial beings in our ranks anymore. They all left sometime during the Second Crusade, on a very important mission, they say. But I do love looking at this painting and remembering those days when envoys of the heavens walked among us and the light that seemed to shine from within them. The old man wipes his eyes. Was I saying? You must be a messenger, yes? Or are you a visitor? Why did those times end? Why do the Celestials not fight with us still? Heaven has not abandoned us, surely. You said that the angels Targona and Lariel are twins, but how can angels have siblings? And that's a good question. Of course, angels are not born like mortals, so they can't have a mother and father or sisters and brothers as we understand them. Angels come into being from reincarnated souls or from the pure essence of the upper planes. Sometimes angels may adopt some features of mortals. For instance, they can identify as male or female, although that is not generally their way. Some of them can also develop bonds of camaraderie or even of kinship. But the case of the Silver Twins is rarer still. They are two angels who emerged from one soul. What else should they call themselves if not twins? The old man smiles, seemingly satisfied with his speech, but within moments his vacant expression is back in place, all awareness gone from his eyes. Go to the Defender's Heart. There are good people there and they will look after you. The old custodian gives you a toothless smile. Really? It's safe there? But how can I leave the museum? His gaze falls upon the traces of the ransacking and the old man becomes lost in thought as though trying to find an explanation for what he is seeing. You know what happened here, don't you? Thieves they were, prowling about, wanted to rob the museum, but I stopped them. Those ne'er-do-wells came in here and I gave them what for, a dose of battle magic. They won't be back. Don't you worry about me. I may be old, but I can still hold my own. Well, okay. I'll just pop around and grab stuff from the museum that might be useful for the crusade then. The old man's bewildered gaze follows you as you go. This room. I don't think this contains anything of interest. These other rooms, though. Okay. Camellia. Disarm those traps.
I hope you appreciate this.
Don't remember who has the highest perception. 13. It is probably Lan.
I'm all ears.
We don't need to hear the sound of that thing anymore now. Okay. Apparently we do. It seems to be stuck. Yaniel. Oops, that's the wrong bit. Let me just immediately find that and open it and close it in case we get something from it. Pick the lock. The entrapping longbow and the magic essence. That's nice. Yet another almanac. They have plenty of those around here. The Grace of Peace code. I don't know if I have anyone that I want to use cookeries though. That's just a regular falcata. Don't particularly feel I need that. I'm curious about why they have cooking ingredients in the museum storage. Okay, Lan. Okay, so no traps in here. Lady Calandra's chain shirt. +2 mithril chain shirt. That's nice. Maybe Lan can wear that, actually. Sarkorian Faith. I don't think we'll learn anything from that, but I'll open it just in case. If I don't do it, I'll forget about it. Then I guess we have Teldon's bedroom. Another almanac. Jeez, there is a lot of them around here. And then we have angels. Probably don't learn something from that. And that should be about it for what we find in the Tower of Estrod. So let's move on. Wait. Yeah, I think this is empty. And we finished it before day 3, so we are probably going to have to rest at some point now, but I want to postpone it as long as possible. The next part we have to do is the Blackwing library, which is what's this? Pamphlet depicting a beautiful golem. So this is the Prestige Painter golem. Prestige. Has to be Prestige Painter golem. That's the yeah, that's the golem that transmogrifies our gear. Now there are paintings and stuff here, like this for instance is a painting of Queen Galfrey. Oh. Vision of Targona. The translucent silhouette of a winged female warrior glows softly. You brought us back to waking. Greetings. Who are you? Not who. What? Memories. This place was created as a cradle of memory and fantasy. The things that belonged to the city's heroes were kept here. People used to come to this place to remember those heroes, and myself and the others are living memories. You woke us, so here we are. So your memories of who? Of the heroes the city wished to immortalize. Go, touch a memory and see how they remembered us. After all, this place was created so that our names would never disappear into the mists of history. There used to be a place like this near Neathhorn. Quiet, calm. I used to walk among the plinths and pedestal, wondering, the people who founded the place, what was driving them? Were they thinking about future generations? How to pass down their wisdom and show the right path? Were they thinking of themselves, trying to keep their names and deeds alive? But then the ceiling collapsed and that place didn't exist anymore, so my question was moot. I wish I could say that we have not dishonored your memory, but Kenarbris lies in ruins, and But you fearlessly battle the invaders with no thought for yourself. You have earned no censure. We are proud of you. Right. In the olden days, mortal kind lost to the demons time after time after time, and now their descendants are continuing their losing streak. How could they not be proud of that? Such an optimist. Why did you help me? A soft smile appears on the woman's face. I sensed something in you, as if you were close to me somehow, like we stood shoulder to shoulder once in the face of evil, and that we must do so again. Now, you might remember Targona and Lariel, and the light of heaven. I sense that light dwells within you. Very recently you were threatened by a powerful demon, and dark bloodlust tried to enslave your soul, but you opposed it and held fast. Continue to follow the path of light, and other righteous souls will aid you and follow you. Thank you, and farewell, Vision. Farewell. The power that gives us this semblance of life is running out, and soon we will once again be but memories, living only in words, pictures, and songs. So this is the vision of the Herald. This would be Yarnil. And this is Eliandra, which I don't know who is. So there's a clock or something there. But legendary priestess of Pilura. Right. That's why I haven't seen or met her, because I've never been to Eyes. This is Queen Galfrey. But I don't think we are going to linger around here and look at the paintings, because they don't really do anything. So let's go to the area exit. I don't think I want to pick up any of this. Nope. So destroy and leave. And the next place we want to go is the Blackwing Library. That will take 3 hours, and I suspect that we will be getting the fatigue status very soon. And we have a random encounter. Sheer. Miss!
Into the fray!
I'll remove this obstacle.
I will not be unhappy. No, we could dead it before it managed to damage Sila, of course. I doubt there is anything else of interest here. It should have a masterwork bardish though, so we'll take that and leave. Continue. Yeah, Lan is getting fatigue. Uldrich is getting fatigue. We don't need to fight at the library, though. That I remember. This is also a somewhat amusing scene. A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. Ta, Crusaders? Excellent. I am Captain Caleb Sezamal, and these are my men. I am about to burn these vile backstabbers and heretics here, these pathetic imitators of the traitor Arilu who tricked their way into the ranks of the Crusaders. The knight nods at a heap of severely beaten people and a strange elf whose appearance seems jarring for some unknown reason. Sezamal bellows threats at his prisoners, who seem to be in a state of deep shock and utter terror. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you are certain it is right. What happened to the library? Demons showed up and carried everything off. I wasn't here to see it myself. I was fighting in the square. But these filthy traitors told me everything. My fists made them quite chatty. So what, you tortured them? Do you think those methods are worthy of a crusader? Under ordinary circumstances, no. But look around. The city is burning. Now is not the time for squeamishness. Why do you want to burn them? The warrior howls like a wild animal. Look around you. The city is in burning ruins, so many innocent lives lost, and all because of abominations like these here. Cultists, heretics, and spies slipping into our ranks, carrying out the orders of their brutal masters and preparing a heinous death for us all. They want to give us over to the demons, just like Arilu did with Sarkoris. They deserve to feel the flames licking at their legs. Take a closer look at the ruthless crusader. Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You have seen similar behavioral quirks before, in liars. Examine the Crusader's armor and the symbols on it. Ah. After carefully studying the Crusader's armor, you can't say with certainty that they aren't fakes. These men are real Crusaders. You can say with certainty that they aren't fakes. Yeah, sure. I want to open the Trickster mythic path, even though I'm not going to go with the Trickster mythic path. But this is quite amusing, so we're going to go with that one. Idiots, stop! Heed my command, in the name of Baphomet. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment. And the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. Woolgif glares menacingly at Caleb. Didn't you know, mortal? They're everywhere. Caleb leaps to attention and barks out, Sorry, couldn't have known. We'll fix it right away, sir. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the Crusader and his lackeys when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. Caleb is a Crusader name. Are you a Crusader? I hereby give you a name worthy of a demon. Foul Snout. Biting his lip, the bold cultist proudly thrusts out his chest. Thank you, sir. A Foul Snout furrows his brow in a display of menace, trying to show his brutal determination to take on all the Crusader forces put together. Report, who are you? The Crusader's eyes bulge in fear as he barks out. Caleb Sezamal, former knight of the Order of Everbright Crusaders, deserter. These two are my mates from playing cards, local fences for stolen goods. Reliable men. We set an ambush and caught 4 Crusaders. We wish to join the ranks of the triumphant army of the Worldwound. Good lads, brave fighters. We could do with more like you in the cultist ranks, then our victory would be assured. Thank you, I do my best. Caleb watches Lan with rapt attention, his eyes lingering on Lan's horn. I must admit that the rationality of this individual should be questioned and subjected to thorough study for the purposes of establishing the existence of said rationality. Okay, Nenio does have her highlight moments. What? Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Great Garrison Library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it. There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as those crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get another... No, make it another 2 barrels of alchemist's fire from the Grey Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. Yeah, the Trickster Path does have its amusement. Let's free these poor actual crusaders. Praise Iomade, we're saved. I'm gonna take a quick break here just to save my voice, so be right back. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning grey hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the face of elves even on their deathbed has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. That is an elf, with a beard. I guess the worst can be found even among the best. A bearded elf. How very intriguing. If you please, I would like to pluck out a hair of that phenomenon manifesting on your chin. In the interests of science, of course. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction, in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I am Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I am not mistaken. Storyteller? Ah, that's the first I've ever heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Who are you? I prefer people to call me Storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I of course will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. I have other things to do. I'll help you later. In that case, I will remain here for now. Wandering the city while it is under attack by demons would be inadvisable for a blind person. Don't forget to take me with you when you're going to a safe place. The reason, of course, being that I need to loot the stuff that we can find here. Okay, so I can get these learned things from just reading them from the loot. Good. This bookcase is full of text describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all this knowledge wasn't enough to save Kenabers from the spawn of the Abyss. I probably should let you guys read this if you want to. There's a secret door here. Knowledge World 25. I find that very unlikely that I'm going to pass that, but... Let's see. I saved. Let's see if we can do it. No. Be right back. This is a statue of the mage who founded the Blackwing library. He cut the wing of a demon known as a rock and hung it above the entrance. Interesting. I don't think we need to pick up that. Another magic essence. That's very useful. We also find the quarterstaff of coercion. And a regular scale. Klaem. Okay, I think we probably need to talk to him as well. That should give you the opportunity to read it. Barrel of flammable alchemical substance. So alchemist's fire. Terendilep. Need to check the bonuses I've gotten from these things afterwards as well. I'm leaving them open just enough that I think you guys can pause and read if you want to. Padded armor of focus. That doesn't exactly inspire confidence in terms of armor class, to be honest. The great library of Kenabres has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seemed that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books. That's probably a regular karma. Okay, I'm gonna save again, and if I don't succeed, I will reload. Be right back. Took me 3 attempts. Some monstrously large demonic blade fell upon the library, splitting the ruins in 2 and leaving an enormous black scar. It is possible that the Skari himself was the one to destroy this building with his terrifying scythe, Rift Carver. I wouldn't say it's just possible, it is very likely. The young man with aristocratic features wipes the sweat from his brow and gives you a courteous bow. Allow me to introduce myself, Brother Klaem, at your service. Thank you for helping us. We thought we were doomed to perish. Who are you? We are Crusaders of the Order of the Flaming Lance. Our order dedicates itself to the pursuit of hidden knowledge and magical methods of fighting the demons. We are searching for our leader, Sister Miamir, the scholar. She spent the last few weeks here working day and night on some important research. When the demons attacked the city, we rushed here to find her, but it seems she left the city shortly before the attack began. Miamir? I don't recall the name, which means her scholarly contribution cannot have been significant. And yet her actions do intrigue me. If the opportunity arises, I would like to find out what experiment she carried out. Miamir just left the city, leaving no word of where she could be found? None. She left in a hurry without leaving any notes or orders. Why? I have no idea. The only thing that may serve as a clue is this book, the one she was studying. The knight holds out the leather-bound tome to you. Miamir's notes mention something about a stone book belonging to the druids of Old Sarkoris. What does that mean? Stone books. The druids of Old Sarkoris used sacred trees as books. They carved their secret knowledge on the bark. When the demons came, the druids resorted to a dark ritual that turned the trees to stone, and the druids themselves into undead, doomed to guard their stone library grove forever. But that happened far from here, in the Stone Wilds. It is possible that's where Is it possible that's where Miamir went? Or maybe she found one of those trees somewhere nearby. I don't know. How did you end up in this trap? That traitor met us at the door. He seemed a faithful and passionate crusader, and we didn't suspect a thing until they attacked us from behind and knocked us out. We didn't expect such trickery. Most of our order brethren are dead, and we were desperate to believe that this man in armor was a fellow crusader, a comrade. While we were unconscious, they removed our armor and tossed us on the pyre of books. What macabre blasphemy. Ain't it always the way? You start to think you might be able to trust a fellow and boom, he goes and stabs you in the back. But if you never trust anyone, then soon you'll become a killer just like Holleran. That's hardly better, is it? Pah, don't start on that now. Fine, you convinced me. You can trust people. But only one in every dozen, I'd say, and not for long even then. Who is the elf with you? Is he a crusader as well? No, he calls himself the Storyteller, and he only recently arrived in Carnarvon. We often saw him in the library. He was interested in the writings about early Sarkoris and the era before that. It seems the traitor caught him in the library and decided to kill him along with the rest of us. The young man's voice drops to a polite murmur. Have you noticed that Storyteller is a little odd? Even for Carnarvon, where you can meet the strangest people from the farthest corners of the globe among the Crusaders. Have you ever seen such a decrepit elf before? Not just old, but ancient, with a grey beard like that. Elves don't tend to grow beards, I thought, and they don't have wrinkles. An elf with wrinkles and a beard, a detestable absurdity. Hold on there. A beard isn't the worst thing a person can have growing on their face. You should see some of the people back in my village. The worst thing that is growing on your face is your mouth. Please, try to open it a little less often. Lan clenches his teeth with a dismissive wave of his hand. Go to the Defender's Heart. Those who are ready to fight back are gathering there. The city still fights? Why, that's incredible news. We will go to our sanctuary guarded by our Order brothers and sisters. We will bring them to the Defender's Heart. And now we can take the Storyteller to the tavern. Although I think I would like to have a thumbnail first. Yeah, that looks good. I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. Okay, now we can do a quick rest here. No, we can't. We have to talk to someone first. The Defender's Heart greets you with unexpected liveliness. Beyond the walls of the tavern, the once bustling and festive city lies in ruins. But somehow none of that can be felt within these walls. The people in the room are talking, laughing, raising toasts, even softly singing. It doesn't look like typical tavern revelry, but nor is it the grim vigilance of recent days. Sela waves to you. She is sitting at a table with the trio you met previously. The knight, the half-elf, and the red-headed halfling. Cal, come. Let me properly introduce you to Elan, Janna, and Curl, the fearless warriors of the League of the Inspiring Cart. Sela pushes a mug of beer toward you and speaks softly. It was me who convinced Irabeth to use what Janna, Curl, and Elan found for a little party. If you look out the window, you might think the end times have come and the abyss has devoured us all. I thought some simple pleasures, good food and good company could help the gloom at bay. Sela looks at you hesitantly as if trying to gauge your reaction. I understand. We need to continue living and fighting, however hard that might be, even amidst the chaos that has befallen the city. Allow me to declare my support for Sela's decision as well. Experience tells me that we should shed no tears until after our victory. If we start to mourn the fallen while the battle is still raging, we'll be jeopardizing all our efforts. Now is the time for rest. We'll bury the dead after the last demon has been driven from Canarbris. Hey, are we just going to sit here with grim faces? I say we get to know each other a little better so we have better reasons to toast. Tell me about you and your order, Elan. As stories go, it's not very entertaining. I was born far to the south in Andoran. I lost my parents early, led the life of a simple mercenary, but often questioned the path I had chosen. I am proud of my sword skills, I enjoy training and drills, and I'm not afraid of battle. But risking my life for coin? It takes a special mindset to choose that lot with no regrets. You have to want to risk your blood. I saw too many of my friends die and I wondered if it was worth it. So in the end I decided to choose another path. Now, if I'm going to lay down my life, at least it will be for a good cause. That is how I ended up in Mendev and became a squire for the Houndhearts. It is a small order. By tradition, it never has more than 12 members, and a new member is only knighted after one of the elders dies. We patrol the lands along the Wardstone line and provide aid to travelers and settlers. Unfortunately, death is common among the Houndhearts. I became a full knight 2 years ago after laying my mentor to rest. But I'm content with my choice. My place is among the Crusaders. Have you been serving in the Eagle Watch for long, Janna? I signed up 4 days before the demon attack. Am I lucky or what? Janna lets out an overly boisterous laugh. I'm an apprentice of a famous fencing master from Miven, and I learned a thing or two from him, believe me. I soon got bored of fighting off bandits and getting involved in the petty squabbles of the bickering river kingdoms. I wanted a proper challenge, and you can't find a better place than Mendev. And what do you know? The moment I arrived, the demonic invasion began. My father would say that's no accident. Fate brought me here. What about you, Curl? How did you end up among the condemned? I just did what everyone else was doing. I grew up in the slums where everyone stole a little, or maybe smuggled, or guarded stashes. So, Curl stares into his mug gloomily. But I never killed anybody, and I never did anything really bad. I got caught stealing, and when they made me choose between prison and the condemned, well, of course I didn't want to go to prison. I'm not that good a fighter, but as Norgorber is my witness, a thief can also be useful in a war against demons. I've always been a good scout. I can sneak under the nose of any monster, but I don't know where my friends are now. We got separated when the demons rampaged through the city. And chin up, friend. Whoever you were in the past, you're our friend now, and a crusader. Your skills will be useful to us, you'll see. How do all of you know Sela? I met my noble sister on the road to Canarbris. I was returning from the south from my fiancée, and was happy to be in the company of a paladin of Iomade. We said our farewells at the city gates, and I went north along the road to Dresden to my order's camp. Elan's face grows grim at the mention of the camp. The demons attacked us there at the same time they struck Canarbris, but we managed to fight them off. We hurried to the city's aid and joined forces with the Eagle Watch. All my fellow Houndhearts were wounded during the battle on the streets. I am the last knight of my order who can still fight. It is so good to see Sela again. Every loyal heart counts these days. I met Sela at a tavern in Canarbris, before the attack of course. She was one of the few who would sit at a table with the condemned. Knights usually don't even look at us, but Sela is different. I knew it the moment I saw her. That's what made me notice Sela too, so I sat down to talk to her. I never understood why everyone treated the condemned so horribly, and I still don't. Our Curl is a great lad. So after that night, Sela and I went round the taverns together every day. Mendev is an amazing place. People from all over the world come here. Glory, redemption, or to help those in trouble. And they always find each other. This might be the best place in the world to find like-minded people and friends. That was a toast, in case you didn't notice. Sela, did you call me over just because, or is something the matter? I didn't just want to talk about today's celebration. You see, Elan is in trouble. I want to help him, and I don't know anyone else in the city I can turn to. His fellow knights were all wounded in battle. Elan shakes his head. Bad idea, sister. I told you. I don't want to bother anyone else with my problems. I need to handle them on my own. Oh, come on. Hiding your sadness from your friends is no way to live. Tell me more. The young knight shakes his head. In all truth, I do not wish to impose. My problems are just minor troubles. A paladin of Iomade and her friends certainly have more important things to do, especially now that Kenabres has been overrun with demons. If I've learned anything in life, it's that there is nothing minor about good and evil. Sela begins seriously, but then a smile lights up her face. Take the three of you, for example. It seems like all you did was say one card from some lesser demons, but look how many people are happy now. That feat will never be sung off in songs, but who knows? Maybe thanks to this one joyous hour of peace and rest, the defenders of Kenabres will find the strength to protect the city. Sela catches her breath. I talk too much, don't I? Well, Sir Elan, I want to help you, and my reputation as a holy warrior of Iomade won't suffer if it's more of a minor adventure than a glorious feat. The knight sighs and seems a little embarrassed. All right, I'll explain. The life of a crusader has given me more than just a purpose and a chance to serve a righteous cause. When I abandoned the life of a mercenary and came to Mendev, I gained something else I never expected. It is here that I met, may all the ladies here forgive me, the finest girl in all the world. It is a miracle she found any love in her own heart for a bungler like me. But I'm not about to let this miracle go. Not even the demon lord Daskari and all his demon army can stand in my way. Luckily, my beloved is now safely away from Kenabres. For half a year I've been getting up my courage to propose to her. I even ordered a ring from Darek Sunhammer, the best jeweler in Mendev. Independent knightly orders live mostly off donations, and I'm not what you could call rich, but I so want to make Kiana happy. Oh, it took me 3 months to find a jewel the same shade as her eyes, and twice that long to scrape together enough money. Master Darek's work was worth it, but I lost the ring during the demon attack, and I'll probably never find a worthy replacement. The ring is most likely still at the Houndheart's camp outside the city. Elan and his friends didn't have time to pack up their camp. First the demons ambushed them, and then they rushed up to help Kenabres. I think we should at least go there and check. Not right now, of course, but once the situation in the city is under control. What could we run into at this camp? My friends and I killed 2 large demons attacking the camp, and then rode straight to the city without spending any more time cleaning up the rest of their band. It was only a few imps, but they might still be at the camp. Of course, this was a while ago. Our camp was attacked at the same time as the wardstone in the main square, and I haven't been back there since. I see no problem with helping you with this. Sela puts her hand on your shoulder. Thanks for agreeing to help. Elan is a good man and a true knight, and I think the world should repay those who are so devoted to doing good. Let's help him so he can propose to his beloved the way he wanted. Sela, I hope you can convince Irabeth to let me go with you when you do this. I don't want to be parted from my friends. Of course. If the League of the Inspiring Cart has come together in this dark hour, we must continue onward together. There we go. Okay, now the first thing, and probably also the last thing in this episode that I'm going to do is... Apparently I need to level up Ember. How did... I have no idea. Maybe I forgot to level her up earlier. Fortune is good. And cure moderate wounds. Anyone else I forgot to level up? No. Okay, so what I needed to do was actually check the spellbooks here. Yeah. Get rid of that create pit spell. And replace it with Scorching Ray. Level 1. Get rid of that. Get rid of the Snowball as well. Wish I could swap that out with something. Yeah, let's do Vanish instead. Color Spray is kind of useless. Let's have 2 Mage Armor. Spontaneous, not spontaneous. But we also have to keep in mind he has 2 spellbooks now. That took me quite some time in the last playthrough to realize. And for you, I think we are going to go with 10 minutes per level, so that's 40 minutes. Undead. Outsiders. Okay, so that is a bit annoying. Let's go with the Veil of Heaven. Just double checking that everything is as it should be now. I think we can go with another mirror image just in case. We're not going to bring Ember, so that's fine. And for the final thing we are going to do, we are going to rest.
Rich girl, I want to know more about your childhood. I am composing an addendum about the lives of illegitimate children of noble families in Avestan. Or is bastards the correct term?
Why, you... Never mind. Taking offense at your lack of manners would be foolish. But one day, we shall take a walk somewhere free from listening ears, and I shall tell you everything. More than you could hope for.
Mm-hmm. 12 hours, so that should be within the time limit. Okay, so what I'll do now, I'll do a couple of things off camera. The Storyteller is over here. We have to talk to him in this chapter. That is very important, because we won't see him again until Act 3. So I'll do some trading and check which people in here we need to talk to. And then in the next episode, we will head out again into the city. We might have to talk to some people here, but we'll head out into the city again. I'm kind of hoping that it might be possible to... Well, actually, that... Yes. No. You can go to the Grey Garrison before the Defender's Heart is attacked. That nets you some special stuff, so I would like to try to do that, but we'll see about that. That might be too enthusiastic or something like that. But for now, let's wrap things up here. So if you have any questions and or comments, then please do feel free to leave those in the comment section as per usual. I hope that you enjoyed the episode. I hope that the pacing of the release of the episodes is to your satisfaction, and also the length of the episodes. I am making them longer on purpose, just because of the pacing out. And we should have started with the pacing out now. I released the first episodes with a day's with a day between, but now we should be at the a couple of days between each episode. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you all in the next one.